Well, well, well. We are all gathered here today. We are all dressed in black. I thought Les was finna go put some lokes on. To be honest with you, thought he was finna show up like we was at a West Coast funeral around this joint.
Yeah,
But 94 feet of life. We in the building, y'all. The pregame edition, 1 hour. I got my man Worldwide List. We got the best setup man on Zoom and all the Zoom. The Czar, the DVR, my man Trav. We're here to talk game four, West Finals. But first things first, we want to send our thoughts, prayers, and condolences to the people down in Austin, Texas.
Oh
Terrible
man.
case. Then I honestly almost didn't really even want to do the show, y'all. It took a lot of air out of it. Just think about innocent. Who shoots up Who shoots up a school but an elementary school?
A sick individual. A sick
I swear.
individual.
I didn't even want to cut the promo on. It is actually messed up that we come in a funeral mindset, but we didn't know. It's like we weren't aware of the tragedy beforehand. But
Mhm.
nevertheless, let's get into it, man. 94 feet of life. We got Western Conference Finals game four. A little less than an hour away. I want to know what y'all fellas think, because I don't even plan on watching tonight. I got to be at work at 4 in the morning. I'm probably going to watch it in the morning when I get up and go get ready for work.
Yeah.
But I'm sleepy. I think Dallas is sleepy too. So, Trav, break them off.
Man, I really think this game gonna start off like any other game four in a desperate situation.
Yeah.
Muzz is gonna sit up there, they're gonna fight, they're gonna throw the whole kitchen house. But when reality set, I think Golden State overwhelms them, especially what I seen on the boards by Wiggins and Looney. I ain't never seen Dallas get dominated like that.
Nah.
I ain't never seen Dallas get dominated like on the boards. But hey, man, just too much Steph, too much Clay, too much Jordan Poole. You got Draymond distributing, man. I just, hey, man, we ain't got on all black for nothing. I think it's gonna be a sweep, man. I think Golden State gonna get a lot of rest today. They're gonna get a lot of rest for the rest of this week. So,
Because they won't play again the next Thursday. Finals ain't the next Thursday. So,
mm-hmm.
worldwide, I'll let the people, man.
man. I know we thinking about sweep. You know, uh, Golden State put those guys away, but I think Dallas, just off the strength of their general, Sir Jason Kidd. I think they get it tonight. I think I think just Jason Kidd and just how, because he's made like they have made adjustments. It's just that the Golden State Warriors are just, they're just so experienced, so advanced, like they're just so advanced. They cut for this. They built for this. They've only lost. I think the stat was posted. They've only lost one playoff series since Steve Kerr been the coach. Two.
Two.
Sorry about that. Two playoff series. So, you know, that was the finals, and what else?
Two finals,
Two
Cleveland and
final.
Toronto.
Yeah, two finals. They've only lost in the finals. So they haven't they haven't lost to anybody in playoff play on the West Side. So I think I can go with those odds, but I just think the strength of I just think Jason Kidd is gonna have those guys fired up, and I think it's gonna be a close one. But I would say Mavs by 7.
The irony in the all black is that when the teams have a when teams win the third game of the series and they come in black for their next game, that's a Jason Kidd tradition.
Exactly. It is. Cause
Trey,
he always
you're a dirty motherfucker for that one. Cause this was your idea.
he sure did. That
Yeah,
is his thing, man. That is his
yeah, but we,
thing.
we, we, we get a lot of consternation, if you will, about the style of play of the Dallas Mavericks. Dribble, 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 dribble. Not a lot of ball movement, not a lot of player movement. It's just kind of like, okay, we finna stand and watch Luca. We finna stand and watch Jalen. We finna stand and watch Spencer, and then we'll create. Watch them create, and then we'll play off of what they do. Is that not? We'll swing this back to you. You the coach. Is that not like just totally inadequate strategy against a team that's well oiled and defend at the level that Golden State is capable of doing so?
I I was wondering when this was going to catch up with the Dallas Mavericks. Because you have to, and it's funny that the Dallas Mavericks are playing like this because the stat that I seen that a Steve Kerr coach team in the playoffs of Golden State, it was one team in particular that stood out that they consistently beat every year. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, that had a very similar style of play, that had a very similar player to Luka, and that's the Houston Rockets.
Here we are again.
That to Golden State, this is just Groundhog Day. This is just Groundhog Day. This is not anything new to them. They probably just dealing with a guy that's a lot bigger with maybe better with maybe better vision. I don't, it's like we splitting hairs when we talk about Luka and James. But right now, that's what the Dallas Mavericks look like. They look like, and I mean, they probably back in their playbook from from playing those Rockets teams, honestly, because that's what it looked like they playing. Like, oh, okay, we're gonna guard Luka. He's gonna have 40, but nobody else. Luka could end up, say Golden State wins. I wouldn't be surprised if Luka has 50 tonight if Golden State wins. I wouldn't be shocked. But you need more than 50 points from one player to beat the Golden State Warriors, because if Luka's getting 50, you best believe Wardell might have 40.
Yeah.
So to me, I just think Golden State they've seen this movie before. They've done this. It's, they playing the same type of style. And I'm actually shocked at how the Mavericks play with the point guard as their head coach. I'm kind of shocked.
Wasn't that like partially the reason that Rick Carlisle backed away and decided to move on, is that he didn't want to coach that style with the personnel that he had? So we bringing Jason Kidd into that ain't right.
But I think Jason Kidd is probably more equipped to deal with it. Because
I think so too.
Rick Carlisle is a coach's coach.
Right.
He's a coach. Right. That's what he do. He's one of the best. He doesn't get enough credit, but he is one of the best that we've had in this league over the last 15 years. Jason Kidd is going to let you play. Jason Kidd is fine with that. I think you give him a year of this, he's going to go back and retool, and they'll make the right personnel decisions to equip Luka with the pieces that he need, because even though they could potentially get swept tonight, they're close. They're close because they have something that is a premium in this league, and it's shooting. And you got to remember, probably one of their best shooters and best perimeter defenders is on the bench. Is hurt. Yeah. Tim Hardaway Jr. Right. I think the playoffs would have looked a little different if Tim Hardaway Jr. was playing. But it gave guys like Reggie Bullock, Darius Finney-Smith, it gave those guys a chance to, grow up a little bit. And I think you might see, hopefully, they open at the pocketbooks and pay Jalen Brunson every penny that he's deserved. And I think you may see a little bit more, you might see some You might see a little small ball going on down in Dallas, and you might see Luka playing some 4 next year.
Yeah, if he can do it from the standpoint of facilitation, I'm all for watching it, especially if we can take the ball out of his hands from being dribbled 30 times for possession.
You might see Luka being a point forward next year.
I like it.
You might see Luka. I mean, I'm just looking at it if I ever had the opportunity to coach somebody like Luka or a coach at that level, that I would. It'd be a lot of elbow action, a lot of elbow action. I'm giving the ball to Luka. He's starting 15 feet away from the basket as opposed to 25 feet. Right. Now you got shooters. Now you running some chin action, backdoor cuts, some Princeton. I think Jason Kidd will open it up next year. I think he wanted to just kind of, all right,
fit it out, see what's what. And he got to the conference finals with that. He maximized, what he got with them to the conference finals with that. Trav. We speaking of coaching, let's put the value of coaching in the playoffs. We can talk about all 4 of them that's left. And just what they bring, and how that really affects and changes game plans, going from night to night. Because we seeing blowout, close game, blowout, close game, blowout. We seeing it, but we seeing teams respond. In a lot of cases, it's not really the bad shoot. It's not really the lack of adjustments. It's bad shoot, such as with Miami last night, for instance. So, what you think the impact is with coaching in regards to making adjustments at this time of year?
I mean, as far as adjustments, I mean, of course, you're going to any team that gets beat going to make that adjustment. But like I always said, and I've said this for years, is
what's coming.
Who can get to their stuff often, first and often? Who can get to their stuff first and often? It never fails. It never fails. I mean, Dallas have gotten to their stuff, but have they gotten there often though? When that water got cut off, what was it, game 2?
Game 2, yeah.
When the water got cut off, it wasn't it, because that's exactly. So it's just all because of Steve Kerr made adjustments, and then they got in their stuff the second half. They got in there first, and they got in there often. This Boston and Miami series, that has been a thing also, but also contribute. Bad shooting is a cause from defense also. I'm not finished it.
Oh, absolutely.
Boston has shot bad because Miami has cut their water off, and vice versa. So I got to give credit to the defense, although it has been some. I mean, it's been some blowouts. It's been some blowouts. It's 2-2 blowouts, but their defense have put a stranglehold to what they've been doing, and it ain't like they've been running out of their sets. They getting that thing gone.
Right.
That's rate points to anything, but that's what I see about that, and it's going to continue to be that way as long as basketball is still here. Who can get in their stuff first and often?
See, I don't know about you fellas, but for me, sometimes, especially with playoff series, when you have that blowout, close game, or a couple of blowouts, say to start the first 3 or 4 games, you get a few tight ones, that kind of helps set the stage for games 5, 6, and 7. For the drama that everybody's looking for on a night-to-night basis, they're looking for game 1 drama, game 2 drama. Don't always come like that. I mean, we can go back and chart playoff series from decades beyond. They had some blowouts. Some of the great series had blowout games. They had trash games, as I continue to see come across my timeline. Not a fucking trash game. It's the NBA playoffs, bro. The best gonna get beat the best by the best. It's just what the nature of what it is. In a lot of those cases, it's not even trash basketball. It's just bad. It's just shots not being made.
It's
what it comes down to.
And having somebody that I'm cool with that coaches in the league, it's a make or miss league.
Mhm.
It's a make or miss league. You know, everybody running around talking about, you know, we had two guys that had offers, Reggie Bullock and Max Strus.
Mhm.
Those are shots those guys usually make. Period. They usually
Right.
make those shots, and they missed them.
And this
They weren't shots that they didn't take. It's a make or miss league. That at the end of the day, and we're in the part of the season where possessions are premium right now, and defending and rebounding. And the thing about it is that they go hand in hand because you don't get a stop until you get a rebound.
right.
So a lot of it is who's actually getting stops. The second chance opportunities have to be limited. You can't be giving if you're giving up a bunch of offensive rebounds, you're probably gonna lose that game this time of year.
Mhm.
You could go back to game 3 in Boston. Boston had 23 turnovers, I believe,
Yeah.
at home.
Right.
You're not gonna win many rec league games like that. You damn sure not winning an NBA conference final playoff game like that.
Mhm.
Like possessions are at a premium. Now, if we go to game 4, I think Boston ended up with what 6 turnovers, I think.
Something
You
like
know,
that.
somewhere I think it was between 5 and 7. I can't remember. But that's what I'm saying. Like the possessions are a premium. The second chance points, you know, I'm one of those. I watch the games. So I'm watching the game and I'm looking at certain stuff and seeing how it is and all this. But if I wasn't to watch a game, and this is something I'm gonna give to the viewers and you know the people that's listening, if you want to know how a game went, look at offensive rebounds, second chance points, turnovers,
Oh,
and field goal percentage.
Mm.
If you actually want to have a conversation and you want to sound like you may not watch the game, but you actually want to sound like you watch the game, I'm giving y'all a cheat sheet right now. I'm gonna give y'all a cheat sheet right now, and then you can ad lib the rest. All right. I'm just telling you that right now because it's a lot of people that sit up here and act like they watch the game, but they just watch the highlights, or they might catch it on a bad night. I mean, it's a make or miss league at the end of the day. So you can call these dudes cardio and disrespect Tony Snell, but I can tell you this right now: it's only been 5,000. It's only been 5,000 people in the history of the world in the last 75 years that have played in the NBA.
Did we say more? I mean, you cut the promo without even having to be harsh. That was great heel work right there, Worldwide. I like it. I threw out a stat, of course, in my typical throw out stat type of way. Y'all realize that if these folks finish this series out tonight, the Golden State Warriors being these folks, they would have beaten the entire Southwest Division in an NBA playoff series since 2015. The entire division. A couple with really everybody multiple times, I think. Well, Dallas will be one and San Antonio's one. Houston is less mentioned 4 times. Memphis twice, New Orleans twice. So and that's been a pretty much probably the most competitive division since that time frame. You know what I'm saying?
The only team they ain't beat is that team that ain't made the playoffs since 2015, since we didn't existed. The only team. Because they just ain't made it there.
Trey had to bring that slowness to the program this evening. You know what? I'm glad that you mentioned them, especially on another historical note. This weekend we'll be embarking on the 20th anniversary of them choking in the Western Conference Finals 20 years ago.
God.
With the Lakers, which I'm messing with them because we all know what Game 6 was like. You know, with Tim Donahue already spilled the beans, so it's like, but just the thought of that, it's like, yo, that happened 20 years ago.
20 years ago, dog.
That's a long time, and a whole lot of stuff that happened since.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Memphis just had a team for the first time 20 years ago. So shout out to Sidney Lowe. Shout out to Hubert Brown, Jerry West, everybody knows involved. But no, man, I mean, I'm just looking at it. It's like we at the meat cutting time with this whole thing, to where it's just like we know what we looking at. We got pretty much the easiest sport in terms of analysis and breakdown. We already know what's what. You know why we know this? Because the hardest thing to do is to beat a great team 4 times in a 2 week span. That's what this task asks for, year in, year out. So it's like, what do we expect? We got a comment in our group that suggested that if Dallas was to pull this series off, we would have to have a serious discussion about Luka Doncic. What serious discussion are we needing to have? If he's one of those, then he's one of those. Am I right?
I don't even. He is who he is at this point. I mean, but at this point right now, we ain't got nothing to say. They trying to. I mean, that sounds like a narrative that was put on 2016.
You know what? It does.
It sounds like that same narrative. I would not say that person's name, but we know what happened in 2016 because that gets no play on this show right now. We ain't talking about that. He at home for a reason.
Yeah, Stacy.
He at home for a reason. He's
Hey,
at home because he piss poor performance promotes pain.
hey, I'm gonna say this, and I want to say this on whoever's watching. Please, 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 please stop comparing Luka to Larry Bird.
Stop
They're
it.
not the same. They just the same pigmentation, but the games aren't the same.
Bird don't even
Stop
know
it.
where Slovenia. Bird don't even know where Slovenia is.
Stop.
Just saying.
Okay, let's stop it.
And Luca
Luka,
wouldn't be welcome. Luca would not be welcome in the French League.
okay, let's stop. That does not mean like stop. They do not play the same. If you want to start comparing Luka to people, Luka is in the James Harden, Allen Iverson, LeBron James. That's his play style.
Mhm.
That's the lane. Okay, you want Larry, Kevin Durant. You would talk about Larry. Larry has got more similarities to Kevin Durant than Luka Doncic. Let's stop, please. Let's stop.
I never got that one either. I never understood that.
I don't. You know why?
You know why.
Well, I understand it, but it's like there's way more to it than that, as you
Yes.
pointed out.
That's the thing. You
Larry
understand.
Bird-
You understand, but the understanding that they want you to understand, you don't understand.
It don't compute.
It don't. The computers are not computing in this situation.
So I just need to. We just need to stop
gotta
that.
stop that.
I'm
I'm
sick
with
of
you.
it. I'm sick of the comparisons on social media.
I'm
I'm
with you.
sick of the comparisons amongst talk with friends. Like, stop. It's they not the same.
Not the same.
Larry Bird.
I'm throwing, and that you mentioned Luca now, I am throwing the flag because they named Luca to the first team. I don't know this by games played. I had looked at it, but my man John Moran should have been on first team. I thought, that's just me. But it's Luca, it was Jay Tatum, it was Booker, it was Giannis, and Jokic. You know what I'm saying? That's your
That's
first
first
team.
team?
That across. Yeah.
Hey, and I'm about to say something right now. This is for all the ball is life and overtime, and I got to get my thing going, and I got to get my internet, my social media's presence. One American-born player on that.
I mean, that's how my guy was hit.
That's JT. You're exactly right.
Two.
And
Two American-born players.
D-Book.
Two,
D-Book and
Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Luka, Giannis, Jokic.
Right.
Think about it. Think about it. And probably the most heralded in Tatum and Luka were probably the most heralded guys coming into the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it, because D Book was late lottery.
Yeah,
D Book was the sixth man at Kentucky.
D Book was 14. He was
14.
literal.
He
the
made the
lottery.
last cut. He made the last cut of lottery.
So I just, they got Cone, they got Trey, LeBron, Pascal, and Cat, 13.
Cat, yeah.
You know what's so funny about ball is life and all this stuff like that? You got all this internet access, but you ain't got no freaking highlight table of nobody in the European. All this running sees internet. Shout out to Big Shot. All this running sees internet. You do not see a highlight reel of ball is life or overtime, and they showing overseas future ball players. That's okay though. That's okay. Good for your Snapchat ratings.
Yeah, it speaks to the range, and I guess if they don't know, they don't care.
They just don't care.
They don't know about it. They don't really care, man. I mean, that's the unfortunate nature of this game that we love and cherish. They do our women the same way with the WNBA. They don't know, so they trash it. It is what it is. But I'm gonna watch some WNBA hooping every week.
Oh, if it's on, I'll watch.
Pure skill. Nothing but pure skill in that game, and you can learn a lot. And the coaches in the WNBA run some of the best stuff.
Yeah,
some of the best stuff.
They do,
because they actually got people that's gonna run it and not gonna, depend on their athleticism.
They're not gonna go into business for themselves, if you will. So it's just one of those cool deals where you actually get to see good pure basketball being played. And there's a lot of varieties of basketball that we enjoy, but it's just like we can't crap on the ladies for doing their thing, And it's like, they get down, they rock. We saw Candace Parker put up an Oscar the other day. I watched that joint. It was fun. It was entertaining basketball. You know what I'm saying? They were going up against the best team in the Eastern Conference at the time with the Mystics. Got to shout out to Shy.
Chicago.
Chi-Town.
And while we here, I'm gonna shout out my boys on the dish, and I got to throw you a shout out on this because y'all beat the Yankees the other night. I was watching that joint too on ESPN.
Take that, Vic.
That's exactly what I threw the shout. Shout out to Vic, man. But what we got, about 10, 15 minutes or so left?
We got about 15 minutes left, fellas.
I have no rapid fire questions. We can freestyle this pimping all the way through.
You know what?
What you fellas got?
Is Andrew Wiggins going? There it is. Has he turned that curve?
Yes. You know why he's turned that corner? Because he's in a culture that's going to allow him to play basketball. He don't have all this goofy pressure on him. And he did one of the most unselfish things that he could have for his team to start the season. He got vaccinated. I'm not shooting at Kyrie Irving. That's a personal decision. But just think about that. He was almost not about to play. Because he didn't get there. He was like, fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and get vax. Got vax, started in the All-Star game.
When you do good things follow.
Dr. Fauci was proud.
You have to do it for the culture.
And it
That's
was
the whole thing. He did it for the culture. And he did it, of course, because he didn't want to make no money. We get it.
That is.
He offered some bread. He offered some bread in the year.
Talk that talk, worldwide.
Then he was already on the rookie extension, right?
Yeah.
So he was already getting good bread.
Yeah. This is what I want to say. This is what I want to say when it comes to Andrew Wiggins. Okay, this is what I want to say when it comes to Andrew Wiggins. When it comes to Andrew Wiggins, I think we need to stop. And this is for him and much players like him. We need to stop thinking that these guys are bust or they trash. I seen something in the group where and not in 94 Feet of Life, but I seen it in a group where they said Andrew Wiggins was trash. No, player. I can't let you do that. I can't let you say Andrew Wiggins is trash. Now, he may not have lived up to the expectations that was placed upon him when he was coming out of college and when he was in high school, and they was comparing him to LeBron and all that. No. You got to understand, what we seeing with Mr. James, that's generational, man. That's generational. Kobe, generational. Mike, generational. Shaq, generational. Those guys that transcended the game. Anyway, Andrew Wiggins wasn't going to transcend basketball, And you got to understand, too, that for what he does, he's a master at it. He's a master at it. Why does he have to average 25, 7, and 8? Why?
I don't think you have to do. I mean, you hear a lot of championship teams say this: be a superstar at your role.
Yeah, he's a star in his role. Andrew Wiggins is a top 25 player in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he was the
complete game.
Just because he was the first. Just because he was the number one, being the number one pick does not equate to a Hall of Fame career.
Mm-hmm.
It just don't. And that's fine. Because at the time, those guys are born and enter the draft at the right time.
Well,
that's all it was.
That's all it is. And he's a very good basketball player. He's one of the top 25 basketball players that we have in the league. And I'm gonna tell you this: people like, oh man, I don't know if you want to see Miami, because I'll tell you this right now, he give Jimmy Butler fits.
Oh, kind of hell.
He give Jimmy Butler fits. Now I will say this: now if we can take it a little bit further, if Golden State got to meet Boston, I am interested in that dynamic between Jalen and Jason. I'm interested in that. I am very interested in that dynamic. And that's where we might see a little bit more of Toscando. We might see a little bit more of him. Hopefully, if GP2, he's back.
Making progress.
Making some progress. I am just interested in see what's going, because I think Boston creates the most matchup problems for anybody that's left in the playoffs.
That's what I was just about to say about them. Jason Tatum is actually the most physically imposing player we have left. We really think about it.
6'10".
Regardless of what Trav want to say, he's 6'10".
6'10".
Hey man, that motherfucker hooping though, man. That motherfucker hooping.
Yeah.
JT hooping, man. I don't care if he's 7'12". That motherfucker hooping, dog.
Yeah.
And you notice a lot of what they do is predicated on how well he shoots the ball in a particular night. He had a bad shooting game against Milwaukee. I think it was game 3. He was riding. They lost by 1.
Dude, him and Jaylen Brown are the engines to that team. When Jalen cooking along with JT, it's like the rest of them just go in. You got Williams shooting the shortest threes ever, short corners. He's shooting them. You got then Smart be getting confidence. He shoot it. Al Horford and that Williams cat, man, he's dangerous. He's dangerous. Pritchard out there thinking he bagging up Bob Cousy and stuff. He be hitting stuff. Dude, hey man, I mean, them two, when they own, Boston is on.
We talked about it briefly yesterday, though, Trav. The difference with them wasn't a personnel difference; it was an organizational difference. Front office, you know what I'm saying? They started up top. They made a few tweaks up top, and it wasn't bad. It's like, we can malign Danny Ainge for a whole lot, but he left them straight in terms of, just the cupboard's far from bare. Send Brad upstairs, bring him MA over to the bench, and now you're ready to rock, and now you're getting a different message.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed with with Coach Udoka, and for several reasons. Okay. The first reason is this is his first year. This is his first year as a head coach. Think about that.
Right.
This is his first year.
Conference finals.
Conference finals. Now people would say, oh, they made it to the conference finals. Yeah, they did. But they are actually like a legitimate title contenders. Like they can legitimately win it all. Another thing is, we know he's the face, he's the head coach, but the guys that he has with him are guys that he has actual bonds and actually trust, because two of those assistants, Coach Stoudemire, Coach Damon Stoudemire, Coach Aaron Miles, they're all from the same place. They're all from Portland. So he knows those guys, and he knows who's going in that foxhole with him. So the message is staying the same, and you don't have guys that are like, hey, I'm check clearing first in the 15th anyway. Not saying that, that's how it happened, but he went out and he handpicked those guys.
Right.
So they have a real environment of, they have a real culture of it, because and they all were pros. They were all pros. So they talking to them like pros. Brad Stevens, great coach. Great, really good coach, but he was used to coaching 18 to 22. This is what we're doing. This is how we're doing.
As far as he could take
it. Now you have all those that have coached men and have been men in that league. Right. They have been men in that league, and they grew up in that league. You got to remember, Dame was about 21 years old up in Toronto.
Right.
Yeah.
Running around, winning Rookie of the Year, having battles with Kobe and Shaq.
Mike
bounced around till he got to San Antonio. Yeah, Mike. He had real battles in that league. Coach Udoka, he everywhere. Like San Antonio, he got with Pop. He around Tim Duncan, Dave Robinson. So you got guys that had the experience they have in that league as players, both being a coach, and then Coach Stoudemire actually having a chance to go lead a college program. So Coach Stoudemire is a year removed. He was in college this time last year. He was coaching college guys.
Right.
So when Jalen and Jason were in high school and college, Coach was in college.
Coach was in college. He was recruiting. He had the same recruiting base. He knew what was up about those players even then.
He knew. So all these guys that's coming in, he didn't see them. Right. He know when they was young boys. Coach Miles, he just spent, I think, the last 3 or 4 years in the Golden State Warriors organization.
And I think about that with him too, Liz. He played under 2 Hall of Fame coaches in college. So the tutelage that these dudes get, what I'm saying, that they're able to get back, to the guys on the court. It's unfathomable.
I say that Boston
came at you, bro.
Yeah, that Boston, what they got going over there, and we starting to see cultures right now. The saying goes, culture wins. That Miami culture. Yeah. As soon as Patrick Riley got there, it has been the same. It has been the same, no matter who came through those doors.
No nonsense. Body fat better be on point. You better be in condition, because if you ain't passing condition test, you don't play on this team. You got a 48-year-old dude on that team, and he's still ready to play.
Team, though, Trav. It ain't just playing on the team. Lonzo Mourning still got to pass the condition test.
Yes, man, Lonzo still passing that job, man.
So if he just sit upstairs with that.
You got Shaquille O'Neal to pass a conditioning test.
That was the
motivation. The motivation behind it, right? That's why I said you starting to see coaches. We know about the Golden State culture. And at the end of the day, though, Dallas, they, you kind of like, they like the new, they really not the new kids on the block, but in a way they are.
They are.
But one thing that remained the same is Mark Cuban. He ride.
He ride with his guys now.
He
He's
ride.
gonna ride.
He
He's
gonna
gonna ride with his guys.
He gonna ride with
yeah.
his guys no matter what it takes.
Social media and all. He gonna ride. With it.
And that makes me really believe, like you was just saying, Les, even regardless of what happens tonight or for the rest of the series, what they got set in stone, what they got set in place down there in Dallas, they in good shape. You know what I'm saying? Going down, through the years, they're gonna be in good shape because you got an owner that's gonna go all out. You got a coach that's owner has won with as a player. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got it all right there back, and it comes back to that winning culture. And Dallas ain't done nothing since Mark bought the team over 20 years ago, but be competitive, put themselves in position to go win. So it is what it is, man. We got about 2 minutes left.
Man, let me give some shout outs to some viewers, man. Vic Mino, we see you. Kyle, we see you. Vic Jr.,
Mino,
we see
I'm gonna
you.
get with you, Mino. I gotta get up with you, Big Mino.
Tyson Watkins. Tyson Watkins, we see you too, fella. We see you too. Oh man.
Toxic Vic Jr., we see you too, Vic.
We see you, Vic.
White Sox. White Sox.
Hey man, like you said, 2 more minutes, man. Any closing thoughts, man? Any closing thoughts?
You know what? We got A-Ball MJG UGK third tonight.
Oh wow. Yes.
That ain't no versus battle to me. That's a gangster part.
Orange Mound.
What y'all don't know is that Les said that Orange, he's really from Orange Mound via, I guess teleportation back, via Chicago as well. Either there. I need a game 5 third tonight. So
my body,
Reggie, go suit up for Dallas, knock a couple jumpers down.
My body was born in Chicago, but my soul was born in
Memphis people, I keep trying to tell them he really a Haven dude. He really
Oh my God. Hey man, 94 feet of life, man. We here, man. We gonna give you more shows like this real soon. We gonna have a full
coming
cast.
back before the final start.
Oh, of course. We gotta do a finals drop.
We probably gonna have the whole clan with us too.
Yeah.
At least try to. If we can get Germ away from doing all the fun legal and illegal activities that he's on. I'm just messing with him. I'm not gonna get my man Germ indicted,
Oh God.
But shout out to our brothers, man. Big Shot Ron, MJ, Germ, So True. The rest of the Scene family.
Turkish Millionaire.
We're gonna do a whole show on the Turkish Millionaire. We're gonna wait till everything get clear. Yeah, we're gonna keep y'all in the dark about the Turkish Millionaire until it's time for y'all to know about the Turkish Millionaire. Just leave it at that.
Hey man, again, it's your boy Trav, J Hamm, WorldWideLes, man. We're gonna holler at y'all, man.